Hello everybody and welcome back to the Yorkshire Bike Mechanics YouTube channel. My name's Dave Kay and it's still sunny and I've still got my apron on. Amazing. Right, okay, we've got two lovely hubs for you today. Mid-range hubs, not too expensive, not cheap, but a good, long-lasting, well-performing hub. Price point is more or less the same, around about 180 quid each. This particular one, the Pro 4 that we're looking at now, is a boost. It's XD driver, okay, and it's a 6-bolt rotor fitting. The DT Swiss has a Shimano driver on it, but you can get XD drivers for them. Again, 6-bolt fitting, 32 hole boost, okay? So what I thought we'd do is, before we go any further, is I just want to say that I'd like your comments on this one, okay? If you've got one of these hubs already on your bike, I need to hear from you, basically, just to let us know what you think and let others know, because I know a lot of people are looking at different hubs these days, and it's good for them to get ideas and pointers on people that already have these hubs. We deal with these sort of hubs day in and day out, and I can give you my opinion on them, but it's also interesting to get yours as well. So please leave a comment and subscribe as well, please. So what we'll do, first of all, let's measure in terms of weight one of these hubs. First of all, we'll start with the Hope. We have, when I can get the scales right, 304 grams, and the DT Swiss 307 grams. So in terms of price point as well as weight, there's not much difference in either. So they are pretty close, they're pretty comparable. There's one major difference between them both, which I'll come to in a bit. Okay, so I want to start off with the Hope one first. Okay, let's put that DT Swiss to one side. So the Hope one, made in the UK, in Barnoldswick, actually. We've actually been to Hope, and they've got a brilliant setup. Quality products, a really good product, really well made, really well manufactured. You can feel that it's pretty good. The finish is nice as well. It's a good anodizing finish. In terms of serviceability, this hub is just as serviceable as the DT Swiss. It's two different types of ratchet systems, which I'll go into in a second. So I think what we'll do is, first of all, we'll take the end caps off and we'll have a look at the free hub bodies in them. So both of these end caps come off in the same way. They both just pull off with each other. That's it. The other one comes off exactly the same. I might not be able to do it with my hand, but it comes off the same, and that reveals basically both ends of the axle. This particular one snaps straight off. That's it. Okay. That reveals inside the free hub body and the free hub body housing. This is Hope's mechanism. They've actually used this Poland spring system for many years, and it's proved to be a good, reliable ratchet system for their hubs. These particular pawls and springs are both serviceable items. You can buy new springs, new pawls. You can buy the free hub body if you need to. You can buy the bearings that sit behind that washer there. There's two bearings in this shell, one at this side and one down there, okay? And there's two bearings in this one that you can see there, and the other one you can see on that end as well. So there's 4 bearings in total on this particular hub. Really, to service them properly, you need the Hope tools. You can use sockets and screwdrivers, but I'd strongly advise against it. These two tools make sure that the new bearings that you're going to be putting in are not damaged in any way, and it also protects the shell as well from sockets and screwdrivers and things that some people might use. Okay, so this end cap comes off again, like I said before, and then we can remove the whole axle all the way through with all these parts in here: the pawls, the springs, the bearings, the sleeves, the shells, the axle, everything is available directly from your Hope retailer as a replacement or spare parts, and they're generally available within a couple of days. Even this washer, this plastic washer here, is available as well, okay? But do get the tools. So that's the Hope hub, okay? Very simple. Like I say, this mechanism has been around for many, many years, and it's worked pretty good for Hope. Okay, so we'll just put that there. You need a tool as well to put that washer back. It just slides over, and it forces that that green washer back into its slot, so it makes it watertight. Okay, so that's that one. I'll just leave that loose for now. I'll just bob that cap back on. So let's have a look at the DT Swiss. Okay, the DT Swiss then. In terms of serviceability, this is just as serviceable as what the Hope is. Every piece of this hub is available direct from your DT Swiss retailer as spare parts. Okay, even the shell, the free hub body, everything to do with that, and it actually comes apart very, very similar to what the Hope does. These end caps come off, and okay. Okay, and the other one as well, they both come off exactly the same as what the Hope one does. Okay, so you can see the bearing in that end, and you can see the free hub bearing in here as well. Now this actually comes off exactly the same. You snap it off and pull it apart like that, but this mechanism is completely different to the Hope. Okay, so what you've got DT Swiss's own star ratchet system, or the Hugie system, or the Hugie system, whatever you want to call it. Okay, this comprises of two separate rings, okay, that have teeth in the middle. Okay, you might better just see those. And it's a ratchet, and it can go that way, but not that way. Okay, and that's when you get your force to move forward, when it gets in that position. Okay. This particular one sits inside the free hub body, up against this spring. You can see there. You can see the bearing as well. There's two bearings in this one, same as the Hope. Okay, that spring sits in there, and then this one sits in that way. They're both identical. That one sits in that way, and you can see it moves up and down. The other one sits in the other side, exactly the same, and moves up and down. There it goes. Okay, and there's a sleeve in the middle. Okay, we can take all this off. And all these parts are, again, they're all replaceable. Okay, you can see the inside bearing as well there. A really simple system, but very effective. Okay, these are 18-point engagements, but you can actually buy higher ones. You can buy more engagements, so you get a different sound from the hub. But I think the key benefit from this particular system is the complete engagement. Okay, that when together like that and pressed against each other is like one solid piece of metal. Okay, so that actually is a bit of a benefit, to be honest, depending on what application you're using it for. This particular bearing in here is a little bit different how the Hope one comes out. Okay, you need a special DT Swiss tool to get that bearing out of there. It actually sits behind this ratchet ring here, and you need this tool to actually undo that. It screws in. Okay, and what you basically do is you slide that over there. Okay, and it slots in between that ratchet, and you can get a spanner and you undo it. Okay, only when you've taken that ratchet out of there, that ratchet ring, you can actually take that bearing out. Okay, you can't do it any other way. So you need this tool to be able to service this hub. Again, looking at the build quality, it's exactly the same as what the Hope is. The difference between the 350 and the 240S is nearly weight. Okay, that's the only difference between the two. Obviously, the colour, you get a red and black stripe on the 240S, and the 240S is slightly machined different to save weight, but they're nearly identical in terms of how they work. So we'll put this one back together. Okay, we'll put the sleeve in here. Okay, put that one there. Put the star ratchet system on there, and we'll just drop that back in very carefully on there. Okay, and it will all find its way in. It's a lot quieter than the Hope. Okay. Okay. So looking at the difference between the two, it can be a little bit of a personal preference whether you prefer the ratchet system in the DT Swiss or where you prefer the Poland spring system in the DT in the Hope rather. Both hubs are, well, they're kind of identical really. In terms of, in many ways. The main difference between the two really is this particular ratchet system that's specific to DT Swiss. Plus you need this tool to be able to service them as well. So looking them back side by side again much of a personal preference, to be honest. From a wheel builder's point of view, it doesn't really make any difference to us what we build on. They're both equally as good to build on. They're both perfect in every way. I've never come across a Hope or a DT Swiss hub that we've bought to build on that we've had to send back. They've always been brilliant to begin with. A couple of people have said to me that they prefer the ratchet system on their e-bike over the 4-pole system. They feel that it gives a better engagement for the power that's going through the motor as opposed to the Hope. But having said that, we've used equally just as many hubs either on e-bikes or normal bikes as each other. So there you go. Two identical hubs nearly, both different manufacturers, both weighing nearly the same. Which would you prefer? Which would you prefer? Which would you like to go on your bike out of the two? Bear in mind that you can get a Shimano driver for that. You can also get a steel one as well. The steel one's probably better than the aluminium version because the cassette doesn't dig in as much. So yeah, tell me what you think. Let me know what you think, and we'll come back soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.